I'm seeing all hell break loose as a couple of journalists get arrested for sitting and taking pictures in a McDonald's and doing their job. And wow, I mean, that is some Gestapo type stuff right there. And the only reason that Lord knows what could have happened to him. Luckily for them, somebody got a hold of somebody and said, hey, those are journalists and your ass is on a spit right now. You better do something. And they hurried up and let him go. And the cops even told him, well, we're doing you a favor by letting you go. Like, man, I could not believe some of the video. I get it that it's a high tension, highly volatile situation. But I got to tell you, and I'm not going to go crazy on this, but I got to tell you that, I mean, and I know, I see Charles coming in on the chat room too. There were definitely some very, very hostile incidents towards the police as well. I mean, I have not seen everything. I have not caught up to, I don't know every little detail that's happened. I've seen a lot. I followed some of the live video last night. But I do believe there comes a point where instead of helping a problem, you're escalating a problem as police and as authorities. And I think that was a lot of what we saw too. And and not only that, but what people missed is there's a huge undertow. This is a lot of unrest that's been bubbling for years that has come up, and it created this situation. But when you watch the video, you're thinking, man, what am I watching some stuff in another country? You know, because this isn't America, right? But it is. And it was absolutely crazy. And like I said, imagine what happened to those guys. The one guy from the Washington Post got slammed broke the Coke machine, getting slammed into it. And I got to tell you, man, imagine if he hadn't. He told a story about walking past a guy who was handcuffed in the back of a truck and just left there. And was crying for help for 15 minutes. Nobody went to him. They said, "Oh, he's just making it up," and they just ignore it. I mean, just imagine if that kind of stuff happened to people who had, I guess, some stroke to get them out of it. What happens to the people that don't have any stroke? What happens to the people that don't have 37,000 million Twitter followers? You know what I mean? What happens to the people that don't have a front page column on the New York Post? Just crazy. And the phones too. That's the thing. They were telling people to put their phones down and stop recording, refusing. Police weren't giving anybody their names. It was a crazy bunch of circumstances going on, you guys. And again, I'm not getting too much into the politics and all of that. I know we're a distraction from that stuff. That's what the good thing about sports talk is. But I had to mention it because I'm watching what's going on, and I'm like, come on, man. And hopefully they can start to solidify that situation and then fix it. For real, dig in and fix the problems. They're deep rooted. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, but hopefully they can. And I think a good move, like I said, I don't know all the details, but I saw on my timeline here as we were getting ready to roll on the show some breaking stuff from the AP that they were going to turn over control of who was policing the situation. So that could definitely calm some things down. But yeah, just absolute craziness. And you just hope that people stay safe and that everybody, police, citizens, everybody stay safe, and that they can get this thing. Get it? Like I said, first you got to calm it down. You can't fix anything. First thing you got to do is neutralize everything here, and then hopefully go from there. But I wanted to mention that, you guys. Also, real quick, some feedback from yesterday's show. I got a lot of feedback talking about the Steubenville situation. Really, as I'd say, it was probably 80-20. You had some people that, and I get this, we mentioned it. I know some people are going to say, hey, regardless of what you think, he did his sentence. He paid his punishment. He's a juvenile. He should be allowed to play on the football team. He should be allowed to return to his life. You got to give him a second chance. But 80% was more on the other side. The biggest feedback that I got was two things. The majority of people could not believe that the kid went back to the same school. Now, even if not that they allowed him, why would that be? I mean, if I'm a parent, just in general, I am trying to find a different place to put my son when he returns back. I'm not trying to put him back in the same environment that led him to this situation. Can't be comfortable for anybody. I mean, so that was surprise enough, and that was one of the biggest reactions I got. The other one was about the coach. There was a lot of people like, J-Rock, I'm like you. I took it for granted that dude was gone. I didn't know that it was still the same guy. Yeah, the same guy that helped cover up the rape, the same guy that helped try to protect his football players is the coach that put the kid back on the football team. But thank you guys. I love when you guys get back with us about the stuff that we talk about. Really, it's much more engaging, and I love that. Plus, I can really find out what you guys like and what you don't, and we can have that discourse, baby. So thank you guys, and continue to do that. Keep reaching out and getting in touch with us. Also, real quick, you know what? I got to get to the break. I was going to talk a little bit here. The Cavaliers schedule popped. We'll talk about that towards the later part of the show, but the Cavaliers schedule popped, and guess what? All of a sudden, I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out, but all of a sudden, the Cavaliers can't be on TV enough. They've got 29 nationally televised games coming up in the season. Big surprise there, but we'll talk about that later on. Some interesting schedule notes. I'll talk about that, but we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's talk some Indians baseball and open up the phone lines. 216-539-7535. 216-539-7535. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. When we come back, we'll talk some Tribe. They played 2. They won 1. They really needed to win 2. Walters with the walk-off. He had 2 chances to do it again, too. I thought for sure he was going to do it, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk Indians when we come back. Then Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com joins us to keep that conversation going. We'll talk with Dr. Football and so much more. Baby, the Sports Fix is on the air. Let's rock and roll, Daddy. We'll be right back.
The way you flip the boards, gotta make it happen. Come on, really rip the chords. Gotta make it happen. Come on, Cavs. Gotta make it happen.
The Sports Fix, the show that asks the question,
What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou?
We'll be right back.
Before we go to the break, guys, I want to talk to you just a second about our friends at GV Art and Design. Baseball's here once again. Cleveland, of course, excited, and GV Artwork teaming up with the Indians, and they're both going to knock it out of the park this season. And listen to some of the new designs they've got for Cleveland baseball fans everywhere. They've dug out an old classic, and they're bringing the heat with the new Wild Thing, Give 'em the Heater Ricky design. GV Artwork is teaming up with Cleveland fan favorite Michael Brantley and created a custom Dr. Smooth t-shirt. Plus, don't forget, they've got the Cleveland That I Glove collection, new tribal and Cleveland That I Love designs for women, and so much more. You can get GV Artwork designs on the website, gvartwork.com. And don't forget to use the sales code FIX10. That's FIX10, and you'll save 10% on your purchase. Or you can check out their new store in Lakewood on Detroit Avenue. Check them out in the Indians team shops and so much more. Cleveland That we all love, GV Art and Design. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
Hey, Sports Fix fans, I'm Fred McLeod, TV voice for the Cavaliers. When I'm not busy taking elbows for my buddy Austin Carr, I'm tuning in to see what the guys are saying.
Come on, Cavs.
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd. Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
At the corner of Carnegie and Ontario, it's basketball time at the Q.
Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history?
He won it! Milo hit a three-pointer on the sideline!
In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book.
Joe Day, Fred McLeod, Hector Marinero.
Discussing the most intimate and sometimes controversial details of the largest moments in our town's sports history.
The Indians have won the divisional title.
A perfect game for Len Barker.
What a win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their first time in a playoff.
It's the first book written from the players' point of view, with the media that covered it and the fans that watched. Finally, the true stories are told, from a miracle in Richfield to the NBA Finals.
The Detroit Pistons have been booby-trapped.
From a perfect game to a World Series one pitch from victory.
The World Series.
From a Wildcat High School dynasty to the golden days of the Browns, Barons, and Crunch, this book will change the way the entire sports nation looks at Cleveland.
Cleveland, you will have an October to remember.
Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck, home of the low price tire guarantee. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Indian fever, it's catching fire with everyone.
Yeah, every couple days it catches fire. The problem is that it dribbles back down, and then it's got to catch fire again. If they could only string a couple of these in a row, then the fire would stoke and burn. But, you got to keep, it only takes a spark to get a fire going, but you got to keep sparking it here. Another one yesterday, opportunity lost. That's what I look at yesterday as, opportunity lost by the Cleveland Indians. I mean, this wasn't Seattle. This wasn't the Yankees. This wasn't, I get some of those conversations. This was Arizona, and it was right there for the taking. Welcome back into the Sports Fix. J-Rock back with you. Going back to the phone lines, 216-539-7535. Going to talk a little Indians here. Mike Brandenberry from TheTribeWinLastNight.com. He's going to join us just about 10 minutes from now after the news, but we'll kind of set the stage here, talk a little bit of Tribe, talk about the doubleheader, the ins and outs of that yesterday, and then we will get Mike on the show here. So welcome back in. If you can't get to the phone, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. And yesterday, Zach Walters, man, he tried to come through. He got it. Not only did he get his first hit in the first game, but then a little bit later, he walked that bad boy off. The 8th of the season for the Indians. Walters with the home run in the 9th made a winner out of Cody Allen and a tough luck non-winner out of Trevor Bauer. Great. Got to say about him, this is the one thing that we've mentioned. While the results are still up and down, back and forth, he continues to stretch out. He can, every time it seems in the last 2 months, we talk about he went even further. He set his career long again. He did it again. 8 innings, but unfortunately, 2 runs allowed, 9 strikeouts. It was just enough to make it a no decision for him. Allen got the win. Michael Brantley gave the Indians an early 2-1 lead with the 2-run single, knocking in his 77th and 78th RBIs of the season. Dr. Smooth keeps it going. But in Game 2, the Indians had chance after chance after chance late, several opportunities in the late going to get one run across the board. Weren't able to do it. Some of it was their fault. Some of it was tough luck. That one, Santana, I thought for sure, just a great catch made. Some great catches, by the way, made by both teams there. And some errors, what do you know, too. Indians had a couple of those. Surprise. Yes, the Indians did commit. Actually, they only committed one actual error. I thought there was another that I thought would be. But again, up and down. Win 1, lose 1. Win 1, lose 1. Win 4, lose 4. It continues to be up and down. And they're, again, 500. Here they sit, and you get opportunities to gain ground on teams. You don't take advantage of it. I mean, look, Mike Brandenberry is going to be here, just about 7 minutes from now to repeat the line. They are who we thought they were, a 500 team. And I will give you that. You cannot argue with that. I've never gone past that, but when opportunities there, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating to see them let that slip. And now, Baltimore is 20 games above 500. Baltimore coming into town here, you got to put some offense on the board. And that's the thing, is we talk about the pitching and the inconsistency there, but while the numbers offensively are par for the course compared to last season, man, we've talked about how they are the kings of balancing a 0-run, 12-inning performance with a 10-run performance. So then it looks like they average 5 runs a game, and they are the kings at that. When they hit well, and they hit in bunches, and they do a good job of it. But when they don't, and it becomes contagious across the board. And we saw that there with that game yesterday, the second game of the doubleheader. Hey, we'll talk more about that. I want to talk to you. I'm going to go to the phones right now. Caller, you're first up on the Sports Fix.
Yeah, good morning, J-Rock.
Hey, good morning. This is my man Bruce. What's up?
Hey, not much. I got a couple things on my mind. One, the Indians lineup. 6 through 9 are all rookies.
All of them. Every one of them. Every one of them. You're right. Absolutely.
Now,